ever since I've been trying to educate up on some lunatics, some Team Tacoers, fake ass patriots, I've made well over 1,000 videos, y'all. And I noticed something a long time ago about it. I figured I'd bring it to your attention. Throughout this process, and this goes all the way back to my TikTok days, I've noticed that only just a handful of times I could count on one hand, literally. That's 5 fingers, all 5. Well, I mean, I got a thumb and a pinky. So all 3 fingers on my hand, I could count the amount of times that a Team Tacoer, a fake-ass patriot, Trump supporter, has actually made a comment in my comments that was relevant to the topic of the video. They don't do it, dog. They can't make themselves do it. No relevance whatsoever. And like I said, I can count on one hand with my 5 fingers, 3, whatever. But I do got a feller on here that affectionately refers to me as 6 toes. And look, feller, I want to go ahead and address that too. I only got 5 toes on my foot too. I don't know. I've never even shown my feet on here. I think feet are gross, to be honest with you. I wouldn't put them on camera. I wouldn't put my feet on camera. And I don't know why you call me 6 toes. Like I said, I ain't never put my feet on here at all. Now, if you've got a fetish for feet, that's on you, buddy. But I ain't going to supply your fetish for you. You know what I mean? Especially you've got one of them very specific fetishes. You like fellers with 6 toes. I ain't that feller, okay? I only got 5. So you need to go figure out, there are feet websites you can go to. If you want to go look at people's feet, you can actually, Feet Finder is what I heard. But you can go to feetfinder.com and go look at people's feet if you want to. But look, I ain't the feller you're looking for, okay? I just want to get that out. But anyway, like I said, I can only count on one hand the amount of times these people's actually commented in my comments that has anything to do with the topic of my video. And I think that's crazy, because if you take into consideration the millions of comments, like I said, going all the way back to my TikTok days, the people that follow me and subscribe to my content and stuff, always insightful, always has something to do with the topic of the video. There's relevance there, They're smart, intelligent, insightful, Those comments, I get them all the time. I've got some of the finest, smartest subscribers on the interwebs, But for some reason, MAGA cannot post a comment that has any relevancy whatsoever to the topic of the video. And you know what? I think it's reverse evolution's what's happening there. Because, I mean, I can't think of a disease that would do it, not to that degree. There's bad brain diseases and stuff, but not like that. I mean, there's reading comprehensions and stuff, and I guess there's listening comprehensions and stuff. But look, these people just listened to the video and then decided to put a comment in there, and it's not even relevant to the video. It's almost like the whole video, everything they just listened to, right out their head. They lost it. They're like, I remember I was going to comment something. I just don't remember what it was. So they have to put something down, But anyway, and what I've noticed, though, is a lot of these people that get in these comments, these dudes in here, they've got a thing for me, They keep always wanting to comment about my appearance. And look, again, fellers, I'm not into that. And to each their own. I'm not shaming you or nothing like that, okay? But look, here's the deal. This is YouTube, is what you accidentally clicked the YouTube button and thought you was on the grinders. This ain't the grinder. What you should do is separate them icons away from each other. That way they're not so close and your clumsy little thumbs don't hit the wrong button, okay? That might help you out, but this is the YouTubes over here. It ain't the grinders. Look, I mean, I'm flattered and all that you're really concerned about my appearance and all, but look, I'm straight. In fact, I'm happily married. I've got a beautiful, beautiful wife, and I'm very fond of her, and I'm just not into dudes like that, And like I said, if you are, well, that's on you, but this ain't the place for all them pole-to-hole and hole-to-pole hookups you're looking for. That's on the grinders, okay? And I don't even have my OnlyFans up. Boots only, it ain't even up, And besides that, that's more for the lady folks, too. It ain't for dudes. So, anyway, I'm just wanting to let you know you're barking up the wrong tree here, fellers, when you're critiquing my appearance, because I really don't care what you think I look like, all right? So, anyway, I just wanted to let you know that we'll correct up on that. When you start putting comments, make it relevant to the topic of the video, make you look smarter. But let me educate up on you a little bit, too, while we're here. I noticed some things that y'all are doing really, really wrong, and I know you don't like looking stupid, so I'm going to help you stop looking stupid. y'all been going around saying, well, what the hell's wrong with Donald F. and Trump tearing down half the White House and building himself a $300 million ballroom because, well, that Barack Hussein Obama built a $300 million basketball court. No, he didn't do that. Let me explain to you, and I think you already know it. You just tactical stupidity, being dumb on purpose. That's one of those deals that you're doing there. See, because if you look over the NBA league, NBA arenas cost $300 million. They range anywhere from $250 million to $370 million. There's been a couple of them they built for as low as $90 million, $88 million, things like that. That's what you spend on an NBA arena. Okay, Barack Obama, what he did, he painted lines on an existing tennis court and then rolled in 2 mobile basketball goals on wheels. You know, you see them up at the Walmarts and the Sports Authorities and the Dick's Sporting Goods and stuff. He got 2 of them things, is what he did. So if you totaled it all up with the paint and the basketball goals, he's probably got less than $1,000 in his little investment in his basketball court. And he didn't tear nothing down. He just put some paint on a tennis court. You know why? Because the fella plays basketball and not tennis. That's why. And then he figured if somebody else come along that wanted to play some tennis, they could put the tennis lines back on there. He didn't destroy nothing. And, like I said, probably spent less than $1,000. But I think you know that, all right? I think you do. You just, like I said, tactical stupidity. Now, another thing, too, that I noticed was, speaking of people that go into my comments and say things that aren't even relevant to the topic of the video, I had a feller yesterday that wanted to inform me that Bill Gates said that climate change ain't real. How do you liberals feel about that? How do you feel about that? Hey, I don't hang on every word that comes out of Bill Gates' mouth. So I don't really effing care. But here's the thing that it did do to me there, feller, who wanted to go ahead and raise the awareness that Bill Gates said climate change is a hoax, and that proves you right. As soon as I saw that, I said, well, something don't seem right about that. And something just ain't right about it. So you know what I did? You ain't going to believe this. I went out and got on the Google machine. I dang sure did it, y'all. I got on the Google machine and I started searching that thing up right there. And I looked, Team Taco, you can use the Google, okay? You can. Hey, don't tell your friends and stuff, though. They'll kick you out of your friend circles for trying to educate up on yourself, you know, because you got this thing called confirmation bias. Well, that's where you just go and search for information that already suit your predetermined notion, your ideas and stuff, to go ahead and confirm up on your stupidity. That's what that is. But so you can use the Google machine and actually look for real information. That's what I did. I looked for real information, and it was exactly what I thought it was. This dude was full of crap, and I understood why it was, because I said, well, where does this stuff coming from? It's right-wing media. Is what you believe that? The Fox faking news is in the right-wing media is lying to y'all. That's why you was so stupid that you said something like that in my comments there, feller. See, because what they actually did was took a big, long speech that Bill Gates gave, and took 3 sentences out of it to come up with this idea, this talking point there. And actually what Bill Gates said was, because we aren't as effective on mitigating, slowing down climate change as we need to be, we need to start focusing our attention and our resources to actually saving on the poorest populations of this country, going and protecting on some poor people in the world, to protect them from things like, you know, encephalitis or other mosquito-borne diseases and things like that, because climate change is going to lead to major illnesses and famines, diseases and stuff. So he's saying we need to go start taking some of our resources and directing towards protecting on these people, since we're not going to outrun climate change. That's what he was saying. He didn't say he didn't believe in climate change. In fact, he said it's real, but we got a big real problem right now. It's coming too fast, and we need to focus our attention on protecting people. That's what he was saying. Okay, there, Team Taco. So anyway, I wanted to just go ahead and let you know in this video, a little housekeeping here for you, you fake-ass patriots. One, I'm not into dudes, okay? So you don't have to worry about what I look like, all right? And sorry, like I said, I'm flattered, but I have a beautiful wife, all right? That's what I'm into. And another thing, stop spreading bull crap and lies, okay? Because right-wing media don't do nothing to lie to you, because you get your information from the toilet bowl of news. That would be Fox faking news, where you're just just lapping it up. The brown floaters and the yellow swimmies and all the stuff that's in there, you're lapping all of it up. Okay, so stop doing that. It makes you look stupid. All right? Inmate Trump.